Okay, students, now let's continue with the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Nucleophilic substitution reaction is categorized into two nucleophilic, SN2 reaction and SN1 reaction. SN2 reaction means substitution, nucleophilic, bimolecular reaction, and SN1 reaction means substitution, nucleophilic, unimolecular reaction. Now let's go through in detail about the SN2 reaction. In order to explain this concept, consider an example. Consider the reaction between CH3Cl, chloromethane, and an OH minus ion. Or here OH minus ion means it's a nucleophile. What happens when a nucleophile like hydroxide ion and it is approaching an alkyl halide? Actually, SN2 mechanism follows second order kinetics. Second order kinetics means the rate of the reaction depends on the concentration of both the reactants. Now, please go through this equation OH minus ion plus CH3Cl. Now, C is here. Don't think that nothing is there, that carbon is there, which satisfies the valency 4. One hydrogen atom is mentioned with a dotted line. One hydrogen atom is represented by a dark line and one hydrogen atom by a dotted line. So I hope that you are remembering these concepts which we studied last year. The solid wedge represents the bond coming out of the paper. Then the dotted line means going down the paper, and the normal line or the straight line, that means in the plane of the paper. So when this nucleophile approaches this CH3Cl, see, you can see one bond is formed over here. OH is making a bond with this carbon. At the same time, this CCl bond is also shown by a dotted line. So actually, this depicts a bimolecular nucleophilic displacement reaction or SN2 reaction. The incoming nucleophile interacts the alkyl halide, causing the carbon halide bond to break. At the same time, there is a new bond formation also with the carbon OH bond. These two processes actually takes place simultaneously. Which are the two processes happening simultaneously? The formation of an OH bond with this carbon and the breakage of this CCl bond. These two happens simultaneously. And hence, this happens in a single step and no intermediate is formed over here. As this happens, the configuration of carbon under attack inverts in much the same way as if an umbrella is turned inside out when caught in a strong wind. This process we call it as inversion of configuration. So SN2 reaction, in the case of SN2 reaction, inversion of configuration happens. In the transition state, the carbon atom is simultaneously bonded to the incoming nucleophile and the outgoing group, and such structures are unstable and cannot be isolated. So this is about SN2 reaction. Now let's see what happens if a nucleophile is going to approach a methyl group CH3X. In the second case, I removed one H and I put one CH3. In the second and the third case, I removed 2 hydrogen and instead of 2 hydrogen, I put 2 CH3. And in the third case, I removed all the hydrogen and put CH3 and drawn one circle. Actually, if a nucleophile is going to approach this carbon, if hydrogen atoms are there, means there won't be any influence of this substituent. What I'm trying to say is, in the second case, one CH3 group is here. So we have studied about inductive effect. So this is a bulky group. So this bulky group has plus I effect. So it pumps electron towards this carbon. Thereby, the electron density on this carbon will be more and more. Hence, the approach of a nucleophile will be little bit difficult when compared to a methyl group. When compared to isopropyl group, I have put two CH3 group here and one H is there as such. So two bulky groups are there. So the plus I effect of the two bulky groups, the electron density will be more in this carbon when compared to the ethyl group. So the approach of nucleophile will be still more difficult. Now, in the third case, tertiary butyl group, 3 hydrogen atoms are replaced by 3 bulky groups. So this CH3 group will pump electron towards this carbon. Thereby, the electron density will be more and more when compared to the isopropyl group. So the approach of a nucleophile will be still more difficult than isopropyl group. Therefore, in the case of an SN2 reaction, tertiary halides are the least reactive. That is an important point to be noted. Primary halides are more reactive than secondary halide, than tertiary halide. So the explanation we can give here is because of the steric hindrance of the bulky group. So this is very, very important. Methyl halides react more rapidly than tertiary halides. Okay, thank you.